Hi there, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to your reading. Before we get right into it, I have a small announcement here that I'd like to make, and it's regarding the format of the readings that I'll be delivering, specifically for the mid portion of the month. So this reading that we're getting into now pertains to the 1st to the 15th approximately, and I generally have available on this channel a reading for the 15th to the 30th. Okay, so the way that I want to do it this month is I want to give the bulk of my time and my energy to the mid-monthly general readings. So that requires of me to reduce the amount of time and energy that I put into the private services that I offer. Okay, private readings and things like that. So to do that, I've decided to form a subscription base for this mid-monthly reading, okay, that I'll be offering for all the signs around the 11th of October. So you can feel free to sign up for that mid-monthly reading to gain access once this video goes live. So right watching this, you can click the link below in the description box that I provide, and that will link you to where you can save access to this mid-monthly reading. The price will be set at $222, okay, and all readings will be delivered to everyone who signs up on the 11th, okay, of October. So you'll get it just before the 15th of October, beginning the cycle to the second half of the month. Otherwise, thank you so very much for tuning in, everyone, and enjoy this first half of the month reading. Bye.
Hi there, Pisces. Thank you so very much for tuning in. This is your October reading, beginning October reading from the 1st to the 15th of the month. Of course, though energy is fluid, it may permeate a little before the 1st, a little after the 15th. Pisces, without further ado, let us get started here with your reading. I was meditating on your energy before I turned on the camera, and I was hearing and sort of experiencing the principle of... I'm hearing, like, be careful with your actions. Okay, so I'm getting that there's going to be a lot of movement, I'm hearing various courses of action, lots going on for you, Pisces, but it's almost like the hastiness of those actions, right? How are we charging forward? And how closely are we reining in on the, I'm hearing the principle of what we're doing, okay? And I'm hearing thought speak, the way we're speaking about what we're doing, the way that we're thinking about what we're doing. Okay, very interesting. Let us pull all the cards here and see what comes through for you, dear Pisces. Let us pull all the cards. Okay. There's a little bit of like indecision, okay, as it pertains. Beautiful. 8 of Cups in reverse, overlaying the 8 of Cups and 8 of Pentacles in reverse, overlaying the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, Pisces, there is a turnaround. Absolutely, as it pertains to matters of emotional stability. I'm hearing emotional finances. So how our financial world is connected and very much linked to our emotional sense of satisfaction. Okay, and how, right, conversely, how we feel through the things that we create and how what we create makes us feel in a certain way. So there's this question of stability, and I'm hearing rebound. So whatever, it was like a process of feeling like, it's almost like you're riding on this, I'm seeing you as like on this, this bicycle, but not being ridden in a linear sort of fashion. This bicycle being ridden almost as like rollerblades, but in the 2 wheels, right? Imagine, Pisces, it's almost like, right, you're on stilts, but they're wheels. That's what I'm feeling for you. And so it's like, imagine that you're like riding on this, not a tricycle, okay, but this in a way, right, it's a tricycle, but just where's the last wheel? We don't know, okay? It's kind of like you are the driving central force of that locomotive sort of, it's like, I keep thinking vehicle, but it's a method and mode of transportation. But it's kind of like in the way that you've been rolling along has been almost like, oh, I've got this one flat, only in this one tire. And in my right tire only, I've got this flat. In my left tire, I'm like kind of okay. But it's this this component of the greater network and system by which I make my progress and my movement forward that I'm getting inherently is the synthesis of you and your various propensities that allow you, I'm hearing energetic, that allow you to make the progress that you want to make. Something is like, I'm hearing overflown, overdrawn. You're recognizing what it is very clearly, but you're not only recognizing it because I feel that you have recognized this. Whatever this imbalance has been, you've recognized it. Although you've been continually making the progress forward, you've known, okay, this is not like as fast as I could be going. It's not efficient, right? I need to, in some kind of way, balance all of me and the way that I work with all of me, but in such a way where you're working specifically with duality. So this polarity of forces, right? It's like you understand it's about merging them. And it's almost like this, Pisces, it's like I've tried to almost make do with the imbalance while maintaining them both intact, but you're recognizing it's how I maintain this recognition and this acknowledgement of these very two polar, I'm hearing, densities. Okay, that allows me to make the progress forward, not only, I'm hearing surface level, not only like feeling that we're making the progress, but making the progress in the way that we are driven, not just forward, but up. So where you are in a way moving beyond even the paradigm of the way you're moving forward, Pisces. So it's like you understand that you're not just going to be riding along this little path, okay, trudging along this, I'm hearing this wooden path, okay, for so long. And so it's like this, Pisces, you're thinking, I know that the way that I move forward and what I move into is so far and beyond the means that I have now. I get that. Okay, I get that. And the feeling I'm getting is like, E.T. I love that movie. Riding, extraterrestrial being, riding on this bike. And if you have not seen E.T., please watch it. It's a fantastic movie. Okay, but, E.T., this extraterrestrial being is riding on this bicycle. And so at one point, right, with much momentum, maybe I shouldn't spoil it just in case some of you have not watched the movie. Okay, so we'll hold on to it. But it's almost like this, Pisces. You understand that you're to make progress, you're always going to make progress. It's a matter of how you think you're making your progress that changes. What defines progress? You're recognizing that your perception right now, I'm hearing, is so low. I'm hearing low to the ground. There's something about your perception has a certain frame of reference. And it's a matter of superseding that frame, the next chapter, that is, I'm hearing, it's completely out of bounds to what has characterized progress in this dimension. So it's almost like, right, I pretend in this dimension, progress is determined by way of forward longitudinal movement. But in this other paradigm that you're moving into, by way of the harmonizing and the synthesizing of the components that allow you to move in this dimension, okay, you reach this complete, polarization of what progress means. It's like and this is the feeling I'm getting. It's like, imagine that it's a transference of realities, Pisces. It's like, imagine that you've been existing in a certain world, okay? And progress in this, and I'm getting specifically success, okay, progress in this dimension, it means a certain thing to certain people. I'm hearing that for a number of you also. But it's kind of like, okay, well, in this world, right, we all made progress by paying our dues, by going into work every day and doing whatever it is, okay? An example that's coming to me here. But then you make this move, you make this shift, I'm hearing this jump, okay? And I'm hearing into this pool, Okay, and I'm hearing of assets, but I'm not getting financial only. It could be for a number of you financial. There's a financial component to it, but it's almost disguised in the financial sort of outcast. What is actually this pool, this wisdom of knowledge and knowing what it is will be channeled by way of harnessing those assets in a certain way, okay? But Pisces, going back, right? It's almost like when you make this jump and this shift, right? It's like, imagine like you take this escalator, now you're in this another completely different realm, okay? This world, instead of going down this little rabbit hole, right? In Alice in Wonderland, into this world, the city that lives and thrives beneath the ground, okay, the earth. It's like, imagine that you're moving up. And so you enter this, I'm hearing this life force. Okay, you enter this way of living. And in this space, you perceive how others now are living in this way, and you perceive those who are living in this way. It's like there's this clarity and this recognition that becomes so obvious to you. And you begin to see things in a completely different way. You begin to lose touch, okay, energetically especially, and emotionally, with the things that are confounding to your cause, to what you understand, to where you understand you're going, okay? And I'm looking, it's interesting, right in front of me on the kitchen sink, there are these two water bottles. They're exactly the same. They're really tall water bottles, and they both on it, they say no. K-N-O-W, no. So, right, and so there's duality here, and right, there is this theme of polarity coming through for you, but there's something, okay, about understanding the paradigm, understanding these two polar forces, and understanding that they are to inherently work together as one eventually, okay? But what I'm getting for you, Pisces, is this. Okay, I'm getting this for you. That when you enter this dimension, you see so much now. And what you see almost blows the mind through which you were operating in that previous dimension. And you're like, well, I knew that wasn't all. I knew that it was beyond that scape and that landscape of growth and knowledge. I'm hearing earthbound knowledge. But in living through myself into this peak, okay, I'm hearing from the valley from which I've ascended. And so again, there's this connection. I see just how far beyond myself and the boundaries of who I thought I was, I can go. In the moment that I accept at every stage and at every level what I know to be true at that stage and at that level, right? It's like just because, let's say, you have these two wheels, just because you are rolling in a way that you're like, well, I could be flying, but I'm not yet. It's a matter of, in that moment, how do you embody? I'm hearing, with what strength do you embody? I'm hearing that message. I'm hearing that frequency at any stage that you're at, in any environment, with any assets that you have on hand or on foot, okay? And I'm zeroing in on this garnet stone, okay, which speaks to will, action, fire, drive, momentum, cause, desire, passion. What is that for you, Pisces, through the whole process? No matter what, no matter what it is that you're creating at any stage, whatever facet of what you're creating, at any process of this greater stage of creation you're at and you're involved in, what is the nucleus of why you're showing up, of why you're there? Right? And it's kind of like, and I'm placing the stone right on top of this spider that spins this web, right? Who is in reverse, okay, looking down, right beneath this 8 of Cups, 2 8s for you, by the way. This could absolutely be speaking to metaphysics in some kind of way, absolutely, right? We are seeing these themes of hearing transcendence for you coming through, but there's But then it's interesting as well because it's almost being offset, okay, but also complemented by this reminder of what we are in the third dimension. Okay, it's about harnessing this duality and this polarity at the same time, earth and water, both eights, with the application to principles that are very, I'm hearing convoluted, I'm hearing entranced, very complex, okay, beyond the realm of the surface level sort of orientation of what we experience and how we channel ourselves through our experiences. There is this reminder that, right, this is all going on still on planet Earth in a certain way, in a certain dimension you may be feeling. So it's almost like, right, and when I'm getting this vision is like, so much energy coming through for your Pisces. But before I get back to, right, the garnet stone on this spider, there's like this analogy. I'm seeing, right, these two people, and I'm seeing specifically two younger males, okay, and I'm getting that they're in a room, and they are so lost, so deeply entranced in the third dimensional world. Okay, so lost in the third dimensional world by way of the entrancement that they have with themselves in the home of their acceptance of the reality that is not their only home. Okay, that. And I'm seeing specifically, they go into this room, and it's almost like a studio, okay, it's like soundproof, and they're in there, something to do perhaps with music, okay, with voice, Pisces, could be, right, like a music studio, recording studio, but I'm getting specifically soundproof, and it's like silent, there's something very silent about the way that, let me grab a sip of water, 1 second, Pisces. There's something about the nature of this entrancement, this feeling of just totally being lost in the outside world by way of right, finding ourselves so deeply within. And they're in this studio, okay, and I'm getting, it's like words are not spoken here. Words are not spoken here. Even if it is a studio, words are not spoken here. Words are not regarded here. It's like when we enter the studio, when we enter that space, language has no reality. I mean, it means nothing. And it's this analogy is almost paralleling in a certain way with that of the shifting of dimensions, right? So it's like when you move into that other level, almost that dimension, it's like you see people and they're making progress and they're moving by way of floating and twisting and turning, and that's their paradigm and their marker of progress and movement forward, right? So it's totally just confounding the variables of time and space and the value that we place on those things in the previous dimension that we experience, okay, prior to, I'm getting ascension for a number of you, prior to that transformation. But going back, right? It's like in this studio, and I'm hearing polar studio, it's like there's like this white door, okay, and white walls. And when this individual walks out, it's like, it's almost like they realize, okay, and this individual realizes this world exists just as much as the world that I was discovering doesn't exist in this world. So there are these two dimensions, Pisces, that I'm feeling that you're working with, and you're working with both of them, like very strongly. It's not that you're forsaking a certain dimension. You understand. You're like, okay, it's almost hierarchical in a certain way. It's foundational. Perfecting in a way my understanding of this dimension is what allows me to move into this dimension, this framework of understanding. And so it's a matter, I'm not getting that, right, in in moving out, and it's almost like transitory. It's like I move into this world and then I move out of that world, and then I return and I come back. I'm not getting that it's like this forgotten system. It's not that when you enter that world you come back, you're like, well, I don't know how to speak anymore. Language didn't apply there, so when I leave, I don't know. I'm not getting that. I'm getting that you get how these two worlds are inherently totally different, totally polar, and yet at the same time, in some fashion, relevant, okay, to how you move through them. And it's like a teacher who teaches, let's say, two subjects that are so different from one another, okay, with two completely different audiences. It's that kind of thing. And Pisces, this is your game. This is your craft, right? Mutable energy. The two fishes, the 12th house, the transcendence of boundaries of time, space. It's all yours. You get it. And you realize just how transient of a being you are, that we all are. And you're perfecting your understanding in a certain way of the two hemispheres, that are on your plate, that you're working with. And I'm getting specifically water and earth. I'm hearing water and fire for a number of you, but water and earth, okay, specifically. Now you do have fire coming through. There's a reference of creativity, of creation, absolutely. I'm hearing creative assets, but fundamentally, right? And we have this garnet stone that I placed right on top of the spider on the Eight of Pentacles card. And so it's like this, Pisces. It's like the spider, right, is working tirelessly. Spinning day after day after day after day, this web. Building this network. I'm hearing housing this force, this life force, the physical body, the physical dimension. It's not the physical dimension that creates this. It's not the physical dimension. It's not the material matter of your being, of your relationship to other beings, your relationship to things. That is what creates it. At the end of the day, it is the intention, it is the life that you live inside of yourself that reflects in the third dimension, that creates this vision, this visible in a certain way in the third dimension, character of your success. But again, right? It's like, it's not like the spider. It's not a robotic. I'm hearing transfusion. It's not that the spider is like and what I'm imagining is like Chuck E. Cheese. Okay, it's not like Chucky who's this robotic doll. Okay, who's life-sized and talks and I'm hearing touches, and I'm also hearing feels in the physical way, this physical, tangible way. Not only. Okay, there's something much greater operating the physical dimension that you are living through. And what is that, Pisces? What is it that drives you, that compels you to spin this web? What presses OK go for you? What like start? Press and start right now. Wash those clothes. What does it for you? Every day, every night, what compels you to lose track of time? To which all you can feel is just the moment of the existence in it. Of your existence in it. To which point you feel yourself through what you're doing. I'm hearing parallel, without any sort of factor of a dissonance, okay, where there's something about imbalance a little bit. It's almost like something is offset just a little bit, Pisces. But you're well aware of this. You are well aware of this, okay? And so it's a matter of what just tips my scale until I'm just parallel. Where I'm seeing clearly. I can see clearly now. That, right? That song coming through for you. Right? When is it that the haze begins to flow. And you begin to flow with all of the parts, with all of the pieces, with all of the bits of understanding that brings you to the network of who you are, not just what you create, right? Not just this network of what you create, but the network of who you are as the creator of what it all means on a much deeper level. I'm hearing sacrifice. That's sacrifice. What the cause, the mission. Okay, so Pisces, there's a release, okay, of what I'm hearing holds us not only down but back. Okay? And what I'm imagining is this sort of slingshot, okay, of energy that you realize I'm hearing I could be doing so much more. I could be doing so much. I'm hearing greater, further, beyond, in ways where I don't even understand what good means anymore, in ways that I don't even understand what further means. Distance? What's that? I'm hearing time travel. I'm hearing I can time travel. In every moment we do it. Right? So it's like, Pisces, you're releasing, I'm hearing the vision of who you were before you entered what you've become in this third dimension. And it's this shape-shifting, Pisces. It's shape-shifting, absolutely shape-shifting. You're like, it's like a mutational quality to this energy, okay, where you it's like in 1 minute you're wearing this cloak with a top hat and I'm seeing like like this sort of cane, okay, this golden cane, and you I'm hearing you look promising, okay, take it as you will, you look promising, and I'm hearing promissory note, and in the next moment, and there's a sort of like regality to that energy that I'm feeling, and as well this feeling of linguist, okay, something about a linguist, someone who's very sort of I'm hearing touch and air. So someone who's very intellectual, okay, and also perhaps conventional in a certain way. But then the next moment, it's like you go home, and I'm on this candle that I have here. There's the scent of it is Merlot, Merlot, the wine, okay. And I don't drink, but this was the scent of the candle. So take it as you will. I am a Pisces, so take it as you will. Okay, again, there's this sort of like convergence of factors, of variables, okay, things that, right, don't quite, something not quite adding up, okay. But Pisces, it's like you go into, I'm seeing you go into this like this humble abode, okay. I'm hearing the creaky corridors. And when you come out, I'm hearing on the other side, on the other end of that spectrum of light and frequency, all you are sound. Pisces, you're moving. You're moving in ways that I'm hearing in this dimension we don't conceive movement as. You're moving beyond movement. I'm hearing, tell me what it is. Tell me what it is. Okay, so people are wondering, what are you up to? What are you doing, Pisces? And that kind of thing. Okay, but I'm hearing forward motion and movement. It's not about what other people, how other people are perceiving you, right? It's like in this physical dimension. It's not about, what's going on with you, Pisces? You're looking kind of like not like you were yesterday. Okay, it's like that kind of thing. And I'm hearing, okay, and it's like you come out on the other end, and it's almost like you're a completely different character. And I'm hearing from you, diamond frog. Okay, so if you think about a diamond, right, it's transparent, there's clarity. If you think about this cloaked individual of an image that I had, it's more like, right, there's a bit of a mask. I'm hearing masquerade. Okay, so there's this shifting of roles, okay, of identities. So much so that there's a question of what identity even is. You're totally confounding the space between the spaces. What time means to you, what space means to you, what you mean to you in every moment and space through you. That's your course, Pisces. You're moving inwards, and that takes you to places that have no destination, okay? Have no, like, you cannot order a flight there. Not on the list of countries. That kind of thing. Only you can access this place, Pisces. I'm getting that strong. Only you, and it's part of your it's a part of your character. It's a part of your role, okay? Now, let me tune in for you, Pisces. So, right, people could be, right, glancing at you, looking at you, like, and so it's almost as this outer facade, right? I'm hearing is perceivable. People pick it up about you, like something is going on with Pisces. Have you seen Pisces lately? Okay, and so your goal is, I'm hearing your mission is to not allow the outer perception and realms to influence and infiltrate the way that you are simply just living and transforming. You're like, the change has to take place naturally. Okay, we cannot, right, I'm hearing ergonomically order, define the way that the baby, right, I'm hearing pronounces its name. The baby pronounces its name, right? The moment that it's born, we cannot, I'm hearing infiltrate the cause. We must abide by the naturality, the law of naturality, and the cause. Why it's happening? Why is the baby even born? Why is the baby born? So Pisces, you're tumbling into yourself, out of yourself, into yourself, back on the other end. Where who was that? Okay, so it's kind of like Pisces. You're like, I don't want to be, I can't, I'm hearing, keep as a marker of reference I'm hearing ongoing pressure of others. So if you think about pressure, right? Density, gravitational pull to the earth, right? So it's like, I have to maintain the way that I perceive motion, movement, and clarity. What is that? And that may be, right, lifting upwards, that kind of motion and movement, right? Rather than the, right, sort of longitudinal progress, marker of progress and path. So lift off, baby, like lift off. And let's get to the spread here. Although that was, right, a tremendously powerful message for you that's coming through, wants to be heard very, very much so. Let us get here to the cards. 2 of Swords upright in the deep past. Judgment upright in the recent past. 10 of Swords upright in the current state. You have the Star in reverse in your energetic pathway that leads you into almost like this downwards trickling, dripping star into the 10 of Swords upright. There's something that you're coming to terms with. Confrontational, absolutely. What is it that confounds my dream? And you're coming to terms with all of the thoughts, the singular thoughts. It's like you're laying them out like linen on this table, laying it all out, airing it all out, airing out the thoughts, Pisces, and the patterns. I'm hearing the patterns, the repetitive patterns of thought. Could be self-talk in a certain way. Could be engagement with others in a verbal way. What is the language of discourse that I use, that I accept as my language? The words that I use, do I accept that as my language? You're understanding what you've allowed to flow in the door and out. Right? Into your mind and out your mouth. What you're getting very, very clear with that. I'm hearing the language of thought and speed. Okay, so speed and light. What is the frequency of the vibration of how I emit and channel myself? You're coming to very close terms with the way that you participate in your reality. Okay, and language is a great focus there. Great focus there. And so it's I'm hearing it's not it's kind of like, got to take out the trash. Okay, got to take out the trash. And so it may have been a pileup of certain I'm hearing ways, conversations, means of communication. It could be I'm hearing a lot of information. I'm hearing distension, a lot of communication, different modes of communication, transit, okay, of messages that are not finding a single cause. I'm hearing variable for concern. So, Pisces. Before you reach this point, okay, of dissection, right? You're like, I'm gonna figure it out. Okay, well, whatever it is that doesn't serve me, that I keep serving myself. I don't like blueberries. I just ate a bowl of blueberries this morning. Well, I don't like blueberries. I need to stop eating blueberries. It's like that. Okay, but specifically in terms of your perception, okay, and the ways that you that you collaborate, that you participate with, and I'm hearing that you cooperate with, in terms of your the way that you speak about on the sort of, I'm hearing the outset. Okay, so it's almost like, again, this outer image and this role that's played that relates in a certain way with why you're even on stage, right? And that's what's coming clear, that's what's coming out, okay? So, I'm hearing inner and outer realms, okay? Now, so I'm getting that you're like, well, no longer am I going to just know what I know and feel what I know, but perhaps perceive what I know in relation to what doesn't align with what I know in the way that, right, is contradictory, okay, to this dream that I hold, that I realize I need to release what doesn't feed that dream so I can find it, so that I can transcend the boundaries of what dreaming even means. Oh, so beautiful, Pisces. My goodness. It's interesting because you have Judgment right beneath the Ten of Swords. 10 on the Ten of Swords. The Judgment card is number 20 in the Major Arcana deck, right? Symbolized by an X and another X. So, I'm hearing you're dashing out. It's like, before reaching this point of, again, dissection, I'm hearing overload, okay? Coming to the point where we have to deal with all this massive stuff, okay? I'm hearing emails for a number of you, a tremendous number of emails, okay? You're like, where's the escape hatch? I'm so ready for this beginning. And there may have been a decision, and I'm filming this on September 27th, okay? So, towards the tail end of September, perhaps right now, around this time, you've made the decision. The distinction has become so clear of where you've been and where you're moving. I'm hearing locomotion, the way that you're making the progress has become so clear. And so you've decided in a certain way to side with the reality that reality is always going to be transient. Okay, and so you must be transient. And you've realized that, and you've recognized that, and it's almost like you've made the jump energetically, but it's almost like, wow, wait a second, we're still here. Okay, I may have gone completely lost here in the studio, but when I open the door again, I realize all of the staff, all the personnel, they're sitting here, they're watching and they're waiting, and they kind of know, right, that I'm here, but I'm not. Okay, and again, I'm zeroing in on these two, I'm hearing wands, and I'm hearing cups, okay, cups card. So it could be a relationship. There's something to do about duality, and again, these two bottles of water that both say no, and they're the exact same bottle, okay, Pisces. Okay, now, and on the bottle as well, it says better water. So take it as you will. I don't normally drink from bottled water, but I happen to have these 2 bottles here. So, okay, nonetheless, Pisces, leading in from the deep past, you have the 2 of Swords. You've realized that I know something. I don't know it, but I feel it. I perceive it in ways that my rational, intellectual mind will never understand. Right? The more that my rational mind tries to understand it, it confuses itself. It finds itself sort of spinning its wheels. Okay. I'm hearing my light body goes to places where my physical body would never know how to get. 2, I'm hearing within reach. So there's something you realize it's out of bounds. I need to spread my wings. It's a matter of flight. No matter how far I run, I'm not going to reach the place where I know that I am going. And inherently there's a mystery to that going into that place, but it's fascinated you, and it's drawn you, and it's compelled you, and it's called your name so many times, Pisces. And that is what you have accepted and validated as your cause. I'm hearing cause for concern, whatever has been the the knowing that it's a matter of reaching this place. And this kind of, this pandemonium, this feeling of pain, I gotta do it. Not about understanding it first, but just doing it. And just first, almost right, accepting that it is my destiny. Right? And of course, general reading, Pisces always heed your personal intuition, but I'm hearing understanding that it's our peace. It's not the workings of our mind. It is the peace of mind that comes by way of releasing the mental agony, the anguish that's caused by trying to, I'm hearing, locate the premises. Like, I know this feeling projected over here. I know that I'm being drawn up way up yonder. But wait, I want to understand, right, what the premise is of that, to understand reflectively what that means. Pisces, I'm getting that you're like, it's not about the reflections of this truth, because this truth reflects everywhere, right? Everything is a reflection of everything in a certain way. So it would be impossible to isolate a certain variable that will validate this for me. And it's almost like, I want to figure it out before I get there. It's like, before I just make the jump, and this could have been in the past, Pisces, right? 2 of Swords up in the deep past. Judgment right after. I'm getting that this is resolved. You're like, you let it go. You're like, I'm hearing the stigma. You let go of the stigma in a certain way. Okay. And it's a huge release for you. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And there's an acceptance of what will be. Simply because, Pisces, you understand that it's the only thing that will be. Your factor of alliance with who you are. I'm hearing, and there are no confounding variables. I'm hearing every variable is valid. Every variable has its medium, its method. Every variable is relevant in a certain way. But it's not, right? I'm hearing the packaging of that discourse, of the understanding, of isolating them. It's the acceptance of all of them, however those pieces fall together in the way that's natural. Okay, now I'm hearing due course. So this could be speaking to time and the progress that's made through time. And this could have been something that has been taking so much time and so much of your time. okay, through I'm hearing the passage, okay, the passage, the gateway. So it's almost as if this experience, Pisces, and I'm getting for most of you, this has been going on for so very long, and it's not even of this. It's like it's this, I'm getting again, this transcendence of some kind, this quality of living, this perspective of living, of I'm hearing admiring things, of admiring your world, of seeing and touching and feeling your world. That is shifting, and it's that shift that has been drawn out over time in a certain way, as you may perceive it, in this third dimension. Now, you have this bombardment, okay, of energy. Almost is like suffocating this Ten of Swords. You have this Mother of Cups, major intuitive energy, right? Very intuitive energy. Fanning, okay, this Ten of Swords, almost like, it's like kind of chiefly, okay? It's a little bit like sarcastically almost even, right? It's like scoffing at it, right? Like, you and your 10 swords. But I am the Mother of Cups. I understand what I don't need to understand. And what I don't understand, because I know that I don't need to understand it. I understand that understanding takes me only so far. And so there's this sort of, this regality of the Mother of Cups, and I'm getting that this is an internalization of these energies for you, Pisces, that is almost, it's like this reality that of what it means to understand you and where you're going and your motion and your movement and your progress forward. And that, I'm hearing airbrush. That is the stroke that redefines the way that you have been even perceiving this truth, this inborn truth. And I'm not getting for you, Pisces, that it's a sort of, it's a tangible thing that you have to work through. I'm not getting that it's like I literally have to speak to so many people and it's testing and it's this and it's that. I'm not getting that. I'm getting it's almost an illusion that you have substantiated in a certain way as a reality. Again, it's perceptive. And so now your own self, your intuitive self, this wisdom, this siding with, I'm hearing the defense. Okay, what you've known to be your very personal truth, singular truth, I'm getting, is the saving grace. By reflection, by way of just showing up, confounds what has been confounding you in a certain way, what has been confounding this knowing. So it's like this face-off, okay, but the Ten of Swords, like, there's like no face. So it's a little bit, it's like you're showing yourself, Pisces. You're showing yourself the way, and it's such a way that you have this feeling of almost like, oh, that's so ridiculous. Why did I? What was that about? Okay, and there's this very, very quick resolution to it. So whatever has been building up over time that is a little bit painstaking and frustrating, well, what is the way? There's this very kind of seamless undoing of those seams that really shouldn't even really be there, as you may have felt it. Okay. Now, you have here the Son of Wands in reverse in your environment. You have the Son of Swords in reverse in your energetic pathway. Now, very interesting. It was, I believe, Taurus who pulled the Daughter of Swords. Or was it Virgo? I believe it was Taurus. Okay, nonetheless, Virgo and Taurus had tremendous overlapping of energy. But, so Daughter and Son, both pointing over, looking at the star in reverse. Okay, before we get to these energies, let's move into the rest here. You have the Five of Wands upright in your near future. You have the Mother of Wands in reverse in your hopes and your fears. You have the Son of Swords in reverse in your final outcome. Now you have two fives here, the Five of Swords, pointing down at the Mother of Wands. Mother of Wands in defense, looking upwards, okay? It's very interesting because I'm getting that there's a hesitation with something. There is a hesitation. There's the recognition that you're to come to terms with something. And it may be pertaining to this, I'm hearing the set of rationalized beliefs, something, the culmination of, I'm hearing the onset of the swings, okay, of thinking. Something about the rationalized thought process, okay? Moving through time, kind of fluctuating. We may be thinking so many different things. We may come from so many different perspectives. The way that we perceive, yet again, what we know fundamentally, okay, to be true, could have been changing and in swing over time. There's something about coming to terms with that, and the question of how, where, and I'm hearing with whom and by whom. So there may be. I'm hearing a transitory figure and place that takes the place of in perhaps a communicative way to kind of speak on your behalf in a certain way. Okay, it's almost like a character is built up or out that serves to speak to this change that's being made, or you may partner up with another individual. Okay, to kind of, I'm here to make the band waves, to make the waves. Now, but Pisces, you're contemplating your resources, your creative resources. How am I to make the jump, make the shift? What do I have to, what am I working with? Yes, in this dimension, okay, that I know will not be all that I'm presented with when I come to terms with exactly those assets here, right now, yet again, right? So, and it's a matter of understanding what you're working with in the here and the now. Again, coming to very, very solid terms, okay, with what it is you're working with. Understanding it seamlessly. I'm hearing from which the surface is undone. Okay, from which the surface is undone. Okay, I'm hearing the scaffolding falls. I'm hearing may it rain, may it rain. So there's this cleansing, this purification for you, Pisces, that comes through, but there's a focus on perception of our actions that doubles over to the nucleus of our intention yet again. There's so much emphasis on the star, okay, on what supports this dream and what doesn't, right? What shifts our frame of perception of what it is that we don't need to see. We don't need to perceive. We just need to embody. That we just do always rather embody. And so I'm getting that you're focusing on preparing for, I'm hearing departure. Preparing for, I'm hearing the onset of this, I'm hearing predictability, something that you have known is coming for you, that you've known is, I'm hearing the resurfacing act, the capacitation of this dream. You're preparing for it. You're building your creative assets, your creative world. Perhaps you may be gaining, I'm hearing certain placements, certain fixtures that help contribute to, I'm hearing on set. There may be a set or a stage that is being built, okay, for this. There may be an individual involved, Son of Wands, someone who has a lot of fire in their chart, is not here yet, okay, but is foreshadowing their role in the greater scheme of things. Okay, so are you aware of this individual? I don't. Some of you are, okay, you are almost, I'm hearing bilaterally. You are in the periphery. You may know them, okay, but I'm hearing you don't know how they may be involved in whatever this is, in whatever this next stage is. Okay, so it's almost like this, Pisces. It's like you, and I keep seeing these two bottles for you. Okay, the no is so blatant, okay, on them. So take it as you will. But yet again, teaming up with forces, some kind of partnership. You and this individual, you get each other. Get each other. But yet again, there is this this analogy of kind of like, okay, let's say you know someone. Okay, you met someone one time, or you went to school with someone, and I keep touching my ring. So take it as you will. Okay, take it as you will. But it's almost like I'm getting linked by a promise. Okay, there may be a connection with this individual. Okay, that you in some way are aware of them. You may have known them yet again. You may have known them, but I'm getting this is if you know them, this is like back in time. Okay, for a number of you, and it's almost like you lost touch with them in a certain way. Okay, in the recent years, in the recent times. I'm hearing months or weeks for a number of you as well. Of course, right? General reading. So take it as you will, as it pertains to you in particular, perhaps. But there is this almost like I'm hearing recollection. So it's almost like I'm hearing they're coming back around, and it's a slow, gradual foray. Okay, I'm hearing on set, on site. I'm hearing at the place and at the time. I'm hearing of meeting, of frequency. I'm hearing of setting the pace, of setting the stage, something about the marker, the moment. Something is coming back around. So, Pisces, and it's almost as if, it's like after all this time, you meet again in some kind of way, and I'm touching my ring, Pisces. So there's something that is like attached. It's an attachment, okay, to this individual who you haven't forgotten, okay, the nature of this attachment. It's almost like someone gives you the ring. It's not like the person is on your finger, right, moving with you day in and day out. But the ring is there, and your recognition, your remembrance of the history of this ring remains, and they travel with you through this sort of expression, right? This expression. And I'm here remembering their existence. Now, Pisces, okay, I'm getting a Neptunian feeling, okay, where it's like there's like the boundaries of time and space are blurring, and so whatever this connection is, it may move beyond the perceptions of time and space. Okay, a very spiritual connection for a number of you. Nonetheless, Pisces, it's like you come in touch again. You see this person again after a long, long while, but you see them almost in a context where you're like, you're here? Wait, I don't know. No, I don't mean that you're here, but I mean that you're here? Well, why are you here? I thought that you, right, didn't you, I'm hearing for a number of you that you're a vegan. I thought you won the meat eating contest, a hot dog eating contest in high school, but you're a vegan now. Well, you're at this cafe. It's like that kind of thing, Pisces. It's a total shift that happens almost in tandem with you. I'm hearing in trance with you. So it's kind of like you realize that you're both, I'm hearing, on track, both on pace, and it's not known yet to each other in a certain way, but I'm getting that this individual has I'm hearing foresight, the range of foresight. They may be incredibly intuitive, okay, and they kind of perhaps foreshadowed this. They saw forward of it, okay, or perhaps for a number of you Pisces, the Son of Wands is, they are in your midst. I'm hearing a recognition, there's an awareness, and specifically of whatever this dream is. They're aware of your energetic state. They're aware of what you're working towards. They get it in a way that is unspoken and through time has remained. But Pisces, yet again, I keep touching this ring. Okay, so, and it's on my middle finger, so take it as you will. But you, yet again, this individual, I'm hearing, knows of you, hears of you, speaks of you. I'm hearing, but hold a different frame of reference. Okay, I'm hearing shadow. So it's almost as if they don't make themselves known quite yet. So I'm getting that whatever this is, it's not something that you know this person. Okay, yes, I'm getting that you know this person, but that the context in which they will reappear and that you will get to know them again in a certain way to acknowledge their to feel their transformation is not yet. Okay, during the 1st to the 15th, but I'm getting that it's coming, and there's a preparation for it. Okay, so probably from the 15th to the 31st of October, Halloween. Okay, this may be materializing. Okay, but yet again, Pisces, let us take a look here, back at this Daughter of Swords. Okay, preparation for whatever this change is. And now, if it's you and another person, Pisces, what I'm getting is that this preparation is happening, I'm hearing double time. I'm hearing to speak. There's this mirroring effect, okay, this duplicity, this reflection, the reflective nature to the, I'm hearing the ambiance, the context through which you transform. It's like you're transforming in this way and so are they. And so it's like this, again, this reverberation of admiring attitude. Now, you have this 5 of Wands, right? In your near future, so many ways of capacitating this change on your part, on your end specifically. Who comes in to, I'm hearing, expand upon that, to speak to that, I'm hearing to speak through that, is going to materialize, okay, has yet to materialize in a certain way or make themselves known. I'm hearing quiet forces following, okay. Now, Mother of Wands in reverse in your hopes and your fears. Now, okay, quiet forces following, again, pertaining to the Son of Wands, as I'm feeling that perhaps they have been, in the midst, okay, in the periphery, the sidelines, just viewing from the outside in, okay, but their force, I'm hearing the force has been with you. The force has been held. So if you think about holding, you hold it in your hand, and I keep touching this ring. So there's something about the energetic connection in a certain way that you may have recognized that will always reside in you. Okay, will always reside in you. But I'm getting specifically my left hand. Something about my left hand is, it's almost like a constriction, okay? So, now, something about holding the hand as well. So, and it could be a memory. Take it as you will, Pisces. Nonetheless, so much coming through for you. And of course, general reading, so it may pertain differently to everyone. Take it as you will. Follow your personal intuition. Always, always, always. Follow your personal intuition. The Mother of Wands in reverse in your hopes and your fears. Looking up, almost past, okay, passing the gaze of this 5 of Swords that points downwards, I'm hearing, in dissection of this creative, I'm hearing melting pot. Whatever it is that you are working on, resurfacing with, okay, you understand that it's upon the viewer's discretion. Okay, I'm hearing that for you. It's upon the viewer's discretion. There's so many ways to set it up. And you get it that there are going to be so many varying opinions, okay, of what it is that is coming to fruition. I'm hearing the clouds finding their form of what was, I'm hearing a haze of what was sort of kind of understandable from the viewer's perspective now coming into clear form and marking a new beginning. There are going to be confounding perceptions of what that means for everyone in particular. And that is the glory of the multidimensional experience. Okay, and everybody holds their personal perspective, and that's natural, and you understand that. And you get that, and again, it's not about focusing on I'm hearing the shooting of arrows. It's not about, I'm hearing the infiltration of cause, of almost like how people perceive you, you perceiving them back. It's like, no, right? I am the mirror within myself. What I see in the mirror is myself. I must concentrate and focus on, I'm hearing every day, in every moment, why the moment exists for me, to live through it. I'm hearing this gift, this talent. What is that for me? That is what I look at head on through myself and accept as my reflection, not the petty voices and the sounds, the white noise, right, of the opinions of others. Okay, because I'm hearing it's going to make a lot of noise. It's like static. It's like pops and I'm hearing cracks but that's not your concern. I mean, the periphery is not your concern. The edges of your marker forward are not your concern. What is the line of I'm hearing your entrancement? What puts you in that place, Pisces, of complete embodiment of the spirit, not of the moment of creating, focusing on the moment of creating that precedes what you create, but focusing on the spirit and the body of what you're creating. Transcending the place of time and space. That takes you outside of how others can perceive who you are as the creator of what you create. Pisces. It's an out-of-body experience. Okay, now, preparation on creation. This leads you to coming to terms with this ability to move beyond these. I'm hearing these darting arrows, these variable forces. I'm hearing invariable forces. Marks the new beginning. That's like the test. I'm hearing the test match. The moment that you get past, okay, the confounding variables, the confounding thought forms, and that doesn't have to be necessarily the views of others, the words of others, but simply, right, the sort of underpinning of what perhaps has led to the confounding forces within that almost form a sort of judgment. I'm hearing judgment call upon what this flight really means to you, this dream really means to you. You know where you're going, Pisces. You know where you're going. And I'm hearing the mind is not going to take you there. Okay, I'm hearing that yet again. And that came through very, very strongly for you, Pisces. Now, these are both fives. 5 of Wands, 5 of Swords, 2, making 10. 10 of Swords. You have another 10, 10 of Pentacles. This is a story. I'm hearing a transient experience. This is a chapter of creation for you. And it speaks to the third dimension, how it materializes in the third dimension, what the third dimension means to you, how the third dimension is your vehicle to existences beyond. You have the world right beneath the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, moving beyond the paradigm of what it means to even engage in an intellectual way what we experience, our world. Our world is changing within us every moment. That is my focus on the dynamism of who I am and what I'm creating before I know even how I am going to create it. What it's going to look like. There's no point, right, on holding back the baby. Wait. We're trying, the whole staff here, we're trying to do the guesswork, the algorithms, based on the DNA of the parents, what you're going to be like. It's like the baby's got to come out. And it's the acceptance, the sheer acceptance of the nature of what you're creating as having no solid state form that marks this new beginning. That, yes, is a sort of question. I'm hearing it's questionable. People can question it. Yes. Right? It can kind of defy, I'm hearing the rules, the logic, the laws of gravity even. But gravity is not a thing where you're going, yet again. So it's like your method and your mode, Pisces, is transformation. People may not get, okay, but that, yet again, is not your concern. It's the progress that is I'm hearing your identity. Okay, so it's the ever-changing process the ever-changing process, and that is your new beginning. And yet again, it's like, I may not fully understand the context of my vision and how that vision, right, will be an experience, okay, for me. But I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. And so it's this setting down of the intellectual mind, the rational mind, any sort of judgment, I'm your judgment call, the moments in which we, right, stood against in a certain way our own your body of experience, our own very personal philosophy that is not read in a book, but that was passed through us from the moment that we passed through into this dimension. Right? What is that golden truth for you, Pisces, that has no bearing, that has no thought form, no rationalization, no application even? In the world that you understand you're moving beyond, that you're moving outside of, to bring acknowledgement to the multidimensional reality. It's so beautiful, Pisces. It's so profound, and it tests your reality, what you consider reality, and it serves as a test for others of what they accept is the only reality. You're moving thought forms, okay? You're moving beyond barriers of your entry by way of understanding that entry is superfluous because I am always moving. I don't need to be accepted into the next stage of growth. I'm hearing the equinox, change and transformation and rebirth is forever mine. The moment that I accept who I am and where I'm going without understanding what that means for those who perceive me as I move through myself and continually find myself and confound myself. There is no endpoint and there is no start point to that process of self-revelation, and I accept that. Whether or not, it's like, it doesn't matter what stage other people are at. It doesn't matter, right, how they perceive what a start and an end is. Because I am moving regardless. And it's the connection and the resonance that I hold with why I'm even here. And why I am compelled to carry that resonance through me. That is my portal always. Through the portal, into myself. And that is my direction. That serves as my guiding force. Okay, so thank you so very much, Pisces. Take a breath. What a beautiful reading. Okay, and new beginnings on the horizon for you. Enjoy them. And I will see you for the mid-October readings. Stay tuned for them, and the details are mentioned just following this message, okay? And as well in the description box below. Nonetheless, I highly recommend you to check out your rising, ascendant, or moon sign as well, as oftentimes those may provide you with further insights into your situation. For example, I know that I resonate a lot with my moon sign, even more than my sun sign. So Pisces, I highly recommend, if you feel compelled to check out another sign, feel free to. If you don't know your signs, you can click the link below in the description box that I provide, and that will compute them for you. Okay, now do remain aware though that you need your birth time, most likely the exact time, for identifying your rising ascendant sign. Okay, and perhaps your moon, you may be able to get your moon with just your day. If the moon wasn't on the cusp of changing at the day of your birth, on the day of your birth, but nonetheless, play around with it, see what you get, and I hope that this reading yet again was of insight to you in some kind of way, helpful to you. Thank you again, Pisces, for tuning in. Have a beautiful day, night, whenever you're watching this, and I will see you soon. Bye.
Hi there, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning into your video. Again, this is a general announcement, and it pertains to the monthly readings and mid-monthly readings. A reminder, so for this month, I'll be doing it a little differently. Usually, right, I have two part readings for the month. I have from the 1st to the 15th and the 15th to the 30th. So the early portion, first half of the month readings, and that which pertains to the latter half of the month readings. Okay, so for this month, I want to be able to give the bulk of my time to the general readings. Okay, and so to do that, I'm going to need to reduce the amount of energy and time that I put into the private readings that I do and the private services and so on and so forth. So to do that, I've decided to make accessible the mid-monthly readings by way of subscription. Okay, and so you'll be able to access that via my website, alchemyandyou.com. Once this video goes live, it's available on the website. So you can click the link in the description box below, or simply go to alchemyandyou.com, and there should be a banner there at the very top. You can click that and subscribe for your spot to receive the mid-monthly reading. Okay, and I'll be delivering that to everyone on October 11th. So feel free to check it out if you'd like more details. The link in the description box below. Thank you so much again for tuning in. Loving the light to you all on this exciting journey forward, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.